Hello, hello, hello. I'm Javon, and I share everything that I know about emotional wellness and healing. And today, I want to share with you what I know about overwhelm, especially as it pertains to women who are in business and leadership. And before we go there, I do want to introduce myself. I'm Javon Gray, and I help folks go from letting their entire mood and attitude be dictated by what happened to them becoming the force that dictates what will happen next. Um, we have a saying around my camp, and that is that we don't cope, we heal. And speaking of my camp, tomorrow, all day. So I have presentation times at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm bringing up the list right now, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And each of these time blocks will host like a 10 to 15 minute presentation by me on elements of this conversation that goes deeper into the types of issues that my clients face, how we work through them, etc. And if you want to join me for any one of those, or if you just want to pop in and see what's going on, I will be having folks tour my virtual starship, which is designed to be a very immersive experience. So one of the things that I have learned in personal experience and when working with people is that when we get kind of shaken up, like taken out of, allowed to let go of a lot of the pretenses, the hair and makeup of it all, um, the what we're supposed to be doing, what healing is supposed to look like. When we can break down those barriers, we are much more able to shift the way that we're thinking about things in a way that works to our benefit. And so, because of that, I'm creating this online virtual space that um, does just that. So, the setting is on a starship. It is called the Shift Starship, and it's a generational ship, right? Where we know that it'll take multiple versions of us for us to be born and reborn again over time. How long? We don't know. Um, but in order for us to get to this place of growth, and so we are going to do that together on this starship, and it's all about what we're talking about here: decreasing overwhelm, getting to the point where the things around us aren't dictating how we're feeling. And so um, there will be a link for you to go ahead and sign up for this in the comment section. Okay, I think I'm gonna do this. Oh, I don't think I'm doing it. I'm gonna put the link here so that you guys can go here and sign up. Well, this is just a direct link. So I'm going to add this to it so that you guys can sign up for that. I will get back though to, okay, that's fine. I will get back to this to-do list situation and overwhelm. So, hello, everyone. If you've ever felt like your to-do list is out to get you, like you're dreading doing it, it's the first thing that you think about when you wake up, and not in a good way. Like, no matter how much you cross off, there's always more to pile up, which is super common for folks who have multiple children, who are in multiple different relationships, different responsibilities, and especially for folks who are business owners, because there's always something to do or that can be done in business. And so if that's you, then this one is for you. So today we're going to be talking about why your to-do list isn't the problem and what to focus on instead. Just to let you in on a little secret, it's not about tasks. It's much more about the emotional weight that you're carrying, the emotional weight that you uh, carry that's directed toward the tasks, that's directed toward life in general, etc. And if you stick with me for the next 20 minutes, I promise you that you'll leave with a fresh perspective and some actionable steps to make you feel lighter in life. And so, first, I would love to start with the obvious, which is that moment when you look at your to-do list and you feel completely overwhelmed. Maybe it's a Monday morning, right? Today's Monday. And you gave yourself a break over the weekend maybe, but today you feel like you have to get back to it. You got to start that grind. And it's honestly probably the cause of a lot of people like dragging through the day, right? You get that kind of like Monday drag. And or maybe it's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock on Monday morning and you look, or at Monday night, and you looking back like, okay, instead of relaxing, winding down for the night, you beating yourself up for the things that you didn't finish, right? So if that sounds familiar, then drop a yes into the chat. I can tell you that I've been there. I've endured multiple, especially nights. For whatever reason, the nighttime will get to me. So in the morning, I feel like I got all the time. I got plenty of time. But by the end of the day, I'm, thinking about all the things that I didn't get done and all the things that it means that I need to do tomorrow, or when can I fit this in, or did I have to reschedule this, etc. What I can say for me though, in order to get out from under that being, the mode, the habit that I constantly go back to, especially that like nagging feeling that like I'm always behind. It wasn't about the number of tasks because I got more to do now than I did before. Right? Like technically the list has grown. But there's actually something deeper. The real problem for me was how I was looking at the situation, and that I was looking at it as a problem. So first and foremost, a list of any sort is a list, right? It's either on paper, it's on your phone, it's in your mind, but it's just words. It's just, you know, uh, potential, right? Potential tasks, some things that, maybe even if they absolutely need to get done, right? Like it's just a list. It is just a collection of thoughts in your head, right? It is neutral. It's not doing anything to you. Even if it gets longer, even if it's so long, even if it's the length of the average dictionary, um, it's neutral. What makes it feel overwhelming is the emotional load that we assign to it. So, for example, perfectionism makes you feel like you have to do everything perfectly or it doesn't count. Guilt creeps in when you think, if I don't get this done, I'm failing as a mom, as a partner, as a business owner, as a manager. And then there's the anxiety, worrying about outcomes that you can't control. Like, what if this isn't good enough? What if I don't have enough time for this? What if this person is not the right person to do this task? What if I am not the right person for this task? When we approach our list with that emotional baggage, it's like no wonder that it feels like it's too much. Does that resonate with you? Let me know in the comments if you feel like perfectionism, guilt, or anxiety is one of your biggest culprits. So just type a 1 in the comments. So we can go even deeper. Why does this overwhelm show up in the first place? Again, it's not just about the tasks. People can be overwhelmed with just the one, right? Most of the time it is, right? But it's about what's happening underneath. It's that avoidance. Whenever we avoid saying something or doing something, it will oftentimes build up to be much more. We will attach more energy to it the more we try to suppress the emotions, the more we try to avoid it, and it will just feel bigger and bigger. Um, to us, I've had people who would like come to me like crying, like streaming tears in our conversation and be like, I just, I just really, really hate myself. You know, I hate that I'm like this. I hate that I'm so emotional. You know what I'm saying? Um, like literally streaming tears. And it's like, if you have that thought one time, then that kind of is what it is. When you have that thought and you like, oh my God, like I'm not supposed to hate myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is not what I believe in. This is not what my religion dictates. This is not how I was raised. This is not like I don't want other people to know. Like I feel ashamed that I even think like this. Like, like there's no way that I could talk to my husband about this. When you start to attach all of those things to that thought, you really start to believe that this is a thing and it's a thing that you're really not supposed to be doing. All of that creates the weight that this one thought carried, right? It's like we don't really want to face it. So, boom, you avoid feeling it. Then you create this internal pressure, right? And it's not just, and that pressure isn't just created by like, I don't want people to know. It's like, okay, I need to get this right, or I'm not doing right? Like, am I right or am I wrong with what it is that I'm saying, that I'm thinking, that I'm planning to do, right? So it's that on top of it that builds that internal pressure up. But then the third thing is like now your priorities wind up becoming unclear. So um, it's avoidance of the task, especially if you just have one task on there. It's the internal pressure that builds up, especially if you feel like I got to get all of this stuff done and I have all of these emotions about it. And then the third thing is that, especially, this is actually one of the biggest things, is that the priorities tend to not be clear. So, like, say you got 20 things that you need to do today. If you were to prioritize them, not only to prioritize them, but to allow it to be okay, right? So let go of any sort of issue that you have with not getting the rest of the list done. But if you were to allow for, 13 of those things to get done, 3 of those things to get done, 1 of those things to get done today, what is the most important? What is the absolute, what do you want to do? What is the absolute most important thing for you to do? Like, which one of these things risks you not having your lights on? You know what I'm saying? Like, which one of these things are most important to you financially? Which one is most important to you emotionally? Which one is most important to you spiritually? Um, Being unclear on those things and feeling obligated to do it all also increases the overwhelm. So now you're not just managing the tasks, right, which are all neutral. You're managing your feelings of resentment, fear, inadequacy on top of that, right? And that's what we really need to address. So typically, it helps to shift your focus from the tasks to the emotions that are driving them, right? So releasing the emotional weight, letting go of it. The same tasks that felt impossible will start to feel manageable. When you set boundaries, right? Saying no to other things, and it's not just to other people, right? But embracing the fact that you get to choose what it is that you do. A lot of people, when people talk about boundaries in a way, the reason why I say this, because a lot of people recognize that terminology. But what I want to say about boundaries is that it oftentimes will set up like a wall, and boundaries keep you inside, right? It's usually that fear, like, I can only do so much. I can't take anything more. And so because of that, I'm going to put up this boundary here. But what happens is that if you if you go by boundaries, then you might cap yourself off at doing a lot less than you would have otherwise done. Then what is the natural progression for you to do? Then what life is life in inside of you to do, right? And so I don't necessarily recommend that you establish boundaries so much as to embrace your ability to choose what it is that you will participate in and what you won't, and to do so based on your intuition, based on your priorities, and instead of feeling like emotional weight from other decisions and other people, what they might feel or think about you, what they might say about you, what they might do next, um, instead of making decisions based on that. Um, and when you shift your focus from what do I need to do to like, how do I want to feel today? Your whole approach becomes lighter, right? You get to be more calm, and you get to move with more intentionality, which will help you to get through tasks a lot easier. When you are feeling overwhelmed before you even start something, maybe this thing is not even something that you want to do, but you feel like you need to do, or it's time to do it, or whatever. When you're in the process of that, if you still got all this stuff going on in your brain, it's like, or in your mind, it's like, yo, like, I don't even want to be doing this. I got so much other stuff to do. Want. When that is what's going on here, you are more distracted, you are less effective, you move through things more slowly. And so this is what I mean by like before, when I've said like this is how you get to be more productive, right? Like this is how you get to do more by doing less. You let go of the emotional weight. So, I mean, if you could, please do take a second, or let's do 2 minutes, to think about how often you let your emotions dictate your day, right? Instead of controlling how you feel before you tackle your list, right? So think about that. Um, reflect on that for a while. Maybe you do that tonight and write it down. If you feel comfortable doing so, you can share that with me. I love to talk about this type of stuff. So you could like legit just send it to my inbox. I would love to chat about it. Um, and I mean, even if you just want to share it with me, if you're not looking for feedback, I'm working on my shut up right now. And so you can just let me know. Like, I don't even want, no feedback, just accountability. Boom, send it to me. No problem. Um, and so I hope that helps. I'm gonna leave you with that. Um, reflect on this and see how impactful that can be for you tonight. Most of the time, what we need to do is increase our awareness, right? Most of the time, we don't need a whole lot of things to do. We are very strong, very powerful, and when we create the space, very intuitive leaders in our own rights, all of us, right? Um, and so most of the time, we don't need a whole bunch of stuff to do. Most of the time, we just need to create that space. And so I hope that exercise helps you. Now, I do want to talk again for a minute about the presentations that I'm doing tomorrow. So I'm pulling up the calendar here. Today, so tomorrow, the expo is tomorrow. It's a virtual expo and it runs all day so I'm on Eastern Standard Time. These times are in Pacific though. So I can probably just translate this for you. But so it starts at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which for me on Eastern time will be 11 a.m. So it goes from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. And there are a lot of really good presentations that are going to be out there. It's on a platform called Go Brunch. Everybody has these interactive um, virtual spaces that they have built, and it's actually called the World Building Expo. So creatives like myself get online in the background and start putting together rooms, experiences, virtual spaces that help our clients achieve their goals. And so there is there are like emotional healing things about like business related stuff, there's something on branding, something on exploring mindful words, reconnecting with nature. There's all types of stuff. And I can shoot you a calendar because there are tons of people who are going to be presenting on a bunch of different stuff. And so have a look at those events and then join me in this room. So I'm going to say join me in the Shift Starship. I'm so excited about this Starship, y'all. And so I'm going to be there at 10 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m. Something about that feels wrong. It is 2 p.m. And like legit, you can pop in at any time. I will be around my computer and willing to chat with folks, willing to work with them, answer questions and everything. So I'm going to put this link in here because this is definitely supposed to be the voyage. Okay, it is. Great. So I'll see y'all tomorrow on the first voyage. I'm super excited about it. Thank you for joining me and giving me your time. Boom. And I'm over too by 2 minutes. But I'll see you guys next week. Let me give y'all the topic for next week because I haven't been very good about that as of yet. And I do want to make sure that you are there, very much interested in coming through. Okay, so the next topic for next week is you're exhausted, but it's not from what you think. That is what we're going to be talking about next week. Going deeper in an area that I had a Facebook post do really well in recently. So I'll see y'all